Chelsea sitting at a plus 150 home favorite. Arsenal sitting at plus 180 with the draw sitting at plus 240. Chelsea, obviously, it has not looked that great over the past few weeks. Obviously, there's been schedule congestion. They've played a ton of matches over the past month, but it all kind of culminated. We were talking about this a lot on the podcast that they were overdue for not necessarily one bad result, but overdue to concede some goals and also essentially overdue. They were overperforming offensively. And it all came at the Amex with Brighton getting our boys getting a famous 4-1 win. They completely dominated the match. It was a great performance. But I mean, it just culminated what we've seen since Potter has taken over Chelsea. We thought it was going to be a great hire and that, Chelsea was going to be springboarded towards, back towards, the Premier League title race. Chelsea's sitting with a negative expected goal differential right now on the season. Like that is concerning. Over their since Potter's took over in the Premier League, they've scored 9 times off of 7.1 expected, and they've conceded 5 goals off of 7.2 expected. In the last 4 matches, they've lost the expected goals battle to Aston Villa, Brentford, United, and obviously Brighton last Saturday. So I actually will be on my Gunners on Sunday for the first time in what seems like in a long time, because I do have them projected as a slight road favorite at Stamford Bridge, because what I don't think people are talking about enough with Chelsea, they're struggling with the final third possession, turning that into some type of goal scoring opportunity. They don't have an out and out striker since Lukaku left. And, obviously Timo Werner left for RB Leipzig. So it's been Havertz up top and Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang is getting up there in age. So he hasn't really produced that much. I mean, Chelsea, they're top 6 in expected threat, box entries, like progressive passes and dribbles. Like they're able to get the ball up the pitch, but they're 10th in expected goals because they've created the 7th fewest big scoring chances. I mean, they're only averaging 1.2 expected goals per 90 minutes. Like this is not really that good of an offense. And obviously the Arsenal defense has been incredible. They have obviously got back to their winning ways against Nottingham Forest on Sunday, 5-0 drubbing, really dominant performance. They're only allowing 0.77 non-penalty expected goals per 90 minutes, only allowed 5 big scoring chances in the entirety of the Premier League season. So I think this is a great spot here for Arsenal. Like Arsenal is also one of the most efficient set piece teams in the Premier League. Like they're second in XG per set piece. Chelsea is near the bottom in terms of defending set pieces, and the Chelsea injuries are starting to mount. Like obviously Fofana and Reece James and Conte are out, but I can't believe we're saying this, but Kepa's out. So that's kind of concerning given the way he's been playing in net. And then Kovacic is also questionable. So Chelsea's very, very thin in the midfield. So I actually think there is some value on Arsenal. So I'll be on the Gunners. Draw no bet at minus 105. So what are you thinking here for this London derby?
Yeah, I generally agree. It'd be Arsenal or nothing for me if I had to play a side here, but I don't really have that much interest in playing a side. Arsenal have been pretty lucky away from home this season. You look at their numbers, they are about even in expected goal differential away from the Emirates, and it's been a long-standing trend. I faded Arsenal on the road their last couple matches, and I'm really not as high on them away from the Emirates as they've been dominant at home. I mean, they're a plus 1.77 XG difference per 90 at home. We saw that in the drubbing against Forest, complete domination in that match. But away from home, they just have not been the same team, and teams who press. We saw Southampton, defensive press was excellent. Leeds' press really bothered Arsenal. And when they've gone on the road, they haven't fared that well against teams who will press. And Chelsea's still second, passes per defensive action. No Conte, potentially no Kovacic, definitely hurts. But Gallagher's a capable presser, even if I don't love him as a passer, though he did have a beautiful ball over the weekend for the goal. That being said, I lean to the under here as well for the reasons I just mentioned. Arsenal's attack has not been nearly as good away from home. They've only produced about 6 expected goals in 6 away matches, and that has translated to the Europa League. They went to Bodo, they went to PSV. The attack was not nearly as good as it was when they played their home matches against those two teams. So I think this is a little bit of an interesting underlying trend we're seeing. Maybe, avoid fading Arsenal at home where they've been perfect this season and look to play against them on the road. And I think this is an interesting spot for that. Chelsea's attack continues to not be right. I think you're right there. I think Arsenal's defense is fine on the road. I think it's more the attack that struggles a little bit to consistently create chances and overwhelm opponents and keep the ball pressure up so they have the ball enough to do damage.